You want revenge? You want to destroy your enemies? Then stop fantasizing about violence like a little boy and start becoming a man who dominates without lifting a finger. The most powerful destruction is silent, strategic, unstoppable. While they bark, you build. While they post, you conquer. While they beg for war, you already won. You want revenge? You want to destroy someone who disrespected you, doubted you, laughed at your dreams? Then listen carefully, because this is war, not with fists, but with status. This is domination without a drop of blood. You don't beat your enemies by screaming, punching, or wasting your time with weak emotional outbursts. That's peasant behavior. That's low-level thinking. Real power, real destruction, comes when you rise so high that your enemies suffocate in your shadow. Let me explain something that most men will never understand. Your enemy doesn't fear your anger. He fears your elevation. He fears watching you evolve into something he can never be. You don't get even by lowering yourself. You destroy him by becoming so far ahead that he's forced to watch you live the life he can't touch. That's psychological torture. That's what breaks a man without saying a word. You want to make him regret crossing you? Then build a life where his opinion means absolutely nothing. Where you don't need to mention his name because you're too busy getting richer, stronger, smarter, faster. Focus on yourself with violent obsession. Get in the gym and train like a weapon. Stack cash like a machine. Build networks that control industries. Disappear from distractions and reappear with power. That's how men who win operate. No emotion, no weakness, just pure calculated dominance. Understand this, weak men fight for ego, elite men fight with results. Weak men scream on social media, elite men stay silent and show up in supercars. Weak men throw shade, elite men buy the building their haters work in. That's the difference, and you must choose which one you are, every single day. You have to flip the switch, turn your rage into fuel. Take that betrayal, that insult, that failure, and burn it into purpose. You got disrespected? Good. Now out-earn him, out-train him, outclass him. Make him irrelevant. Make him wish he never spoke your name. Stop crying about what he did. Start becoming someone he'll never be allowed near again. That's real revenge. That's high-level warfare. Listen carefully. Men don't destroy with fists. They destroy with presence, with status, with power. When you become a man of value, the kind of man women want and other men respect, your very existence humiliates your enemy. That's why you must invest in yourself like a king. No more laziness, no more video games, no more comfort. You're not here to coast, you're here to conquer. The moment you choose comfort, you lose. Period. Cut the emotion, cut the noise, level up relentlessly. Turn your silence into power. Turn your progress into pain for your enemies. Let them see your success and know they lost, and they can't do a damn thing about it. You want to destroy your enemy? Then get to work. Make him regret breathing your name. Become so successful he prays you forget him. That's how real men win. And it starts now. You think strength is about how loud you can shout, how aggressive you can get, how many punches you can throw? That's what boys believe. That's what weak men believe, playing two because they've got nothing else. Real strength, the kind that scares your enemy, is total control over yourself. You want to destroy someone? Then master your emotions. Because once you can't be provoked, you can't be played. Emotions are a weapon, either yours or theirs. If they control your emotions, they control you. That's how most men get destroyed. Not in a fight, but in their mind. Their enemy pulls a string, and like a puppet, they dance. You get angry when they want you to. You react, lash out, act impulsively, and guess what? They win. Not because they're stronger, because you're weak. Your lack of emotional discipline becomes the very tool they use to ruin you. You ever see a lion barking at a chihuahua? No, because lions don't flinch at noise. Lions stay composed. The real killer in the room doesn't scream, he watches, he calculates, he strikes when the time is right. That's power. That's what you must become. A walking weapon of emotional control. Because when your enemy tries to break you down and you just sit there calm, focused, and unshaken, it drives him insane. He loses before the battle begins. You already won because he couldn't reach you. You have to understand this world is designed to make you emotional. Social media wants you triggered. Weak people want you arguing. Women will test you. Haters will bait you. The system wants you reactive, distracted, emotional, because emotional men are easy to control. The man who can pause, who can breathe, who can sit in chaos and remain unfazed, he's a threat. That man is dangerous. You want to beat your enemy? Then stop being predictable. He expects you to rage. He expects you to retaliate. Break that pattern. Silence is your strike. Calmness is your counterattack. When he insults you and you don't flinch, you take his power. When he tries to provoke you and you laugh, you make him look like a fool. Because now he's emotional. Now he's spiraling. And you're too high above him to even notice. You need to build a new reflex. When you're triggered, you train. When you're insulted, you improve. When you're doubted, you double down. Let your emotions drive discipline, not destruction. Turn everything they throw at you into fuel, into focus, into fire that forges the version of you that terrifies them. Understand this. The man who controls himself controls outcomes. Control your mind or be enslaved by it. Control your emotions or be destroyed by them. Breathe, observe, dominate. Never let another man drag you into chaos. That's not where kings operate. Stay cold, stay calculated, stay in control. Because when you move like that, you never lose. Your enemy wants you to engage. He wants you to acknowledge him, talk about him, react to him, because attention is his only weapon. He needs you to validate him, to recognize his existence. And the second you give in, you lose. Even if you win the argument, even if you say all the right words, you've already played his game. You stepped into his arena. You stooped to his level. That's weakness. That's amateur thinking. You want to destroy your enemy? Make him irrelevant. Cut him off so completely that he starts to doubt he ever mattered. Stop mentioning his name. Stop responding. Stop caring. The harsh truth is this. When you ignore someone with absolute indifference, it's the deepest cut you can deliver. Because humans crave significance. They crave reaction. And when you offer nothing, you erase them from your reality. This isn't passive. This is domination. Strategic, psychological, powerful. You're not avoiding conflict because you're scared. You're refusing to engage because you've already won. The enemy doesn't even qualify for your energy. He's beneath you. He's screaming into silence while you build empires. He's throwing rocks at a castle you no longer live in. This is high-level warfare. And most men don't get it. They chase petty arguments. They get lured into drama like baited rats. They feel this compulsive urge to clap back, to be seen, to prove something. That's how losers operate. That's emotional slavery. A real man doesn't need to be loud. A real man moves in silence because his life speaks for him. His results scream louder than any argument ever could. You need to kill this need for attention. Kill the urge to explain yourself. Kill the reflex to defend your name. You don't defend your name with words. You defend it with action, with proof, with legacy. While they're stuck in gossip, you're locked into purpose. While they talk about you, you outgrow them so fast they can't keep up. And the silence that follows, that's the sound of your dominance. Let them think you're weak. Let them think you're soft. Let them talk. You say nothing. You give nothing. That's the ultimate checkmate. They need your presence to survive, and you've made yourself unavailable. That's power. That's torture. That's destruction at its highest form. Remember this, your time, your energy, your focus. These are currency. Spend them on kingship, not conflict. Build so hard that your enemy becomes invisible in your rear view. Let them rot in their obsession with you. And you don't even flinch. You just keep rising. Ignore with precision, cut with silence. And let your absence haunt them harder than your presence ever could. That's not avoidance. That's victory. You want to destroy someone? Don't argue. Don't shout. Don't post some emotional garbage on social media thinking that makes you strong. That's what broke, weak, directionless men do. You want real revenge? Build a life they can't touch. You want to crush your enemy without ever speaking their name? Then evolve so far, they don't exist in your world anymore. Let me break this down for you. Power isn't noise. Power is positioning. You build a fortress so solid, physically, mentally, financially, socially, that your enemies are powerless to even approach it. You grind until you own things they can't rent. You train until you're the kind of man they physically can't intimidate. You read until your mind slices through their delusion like a blade. That's how you dominate. Not by talking, not by fighting, by creating distance through discipline. Every minute you waste thinking about them, talking about them, stalking their life, replaying what happened, you lose. That's weakness. That's emotional slavery. You want to rise? Then build relentlessly. Build your body so hard that seeing you makes them insecure. Build your mind so sharp that their lies bounce off you. Build your cash flow so strong that they have to walk past your success on the way to their dead-end job. Let your results humiliate them. This is how elite men move. Not reactive, not emotional, strategic. The gym becomes your battleground. Business becomes your revenge. Your new network becomes your weapon. And every step you take away from their level is another blow to their ego. Because deep down, they're watching, they're comparing, they're wondering how you became untouchable and why they're still stuck. You want to know the most dangerous kind of man? The one who builds in silence, who disappears to level up, then reemerges on a level so high it leaves everyone speechless. Be that man. While they talk, you train. While they lie, you earn. While they hate, you ascend. That's dominance. That's how real kings operate. Let your physique be so disciplined it embarrasses them. Let your income be so aggressive it destroys their excuses. Let your relationships be so strong that their betrayal feels laughable. Outgrow them so severely they shrink into nothingness. Make them irrelevant by becoming elite. Cut out the need to explain. Stop justifying. Stop reacting. When you reach true power, you don't even remember their name. And that's the ultimate punishment. Not revenge, irreventure. They threw dirt on you thinking you'd collapse, and now you're standing at the top, clean, successful, and untouchable. That's how men win. Not with fists, not with shouting matches, with structure, with execution, with unstoppable forward motion. So get obsessed, get dialed in, stack everything, muscle, money, mindset, until they can't recognize you anymore. Make your life a fortress. Make their memory a joke. And never ever look back. You don't destroy an enemy by explaining yourself. You don't destroy him by tweeting. You don't destroy him by getting into weak debates defending your ego like a fragile little boy. You destroy him by letting your results speak for themselves. In silence. In motion. In outcomes so undeniable it burns him inside without you ever saying a word. Let me be brutally clear. You don't need approval. You don't need applause. You don't need anyone's permission. You need proof. Cold, hard, relentless results. You want to make your enemy disappear, then show him without words that he lost the second he turned his back on you. Shown with money, shown with muscle, shown with your aura. Real men walk into a room and weak men feel it. That's the level you need to reach. You don't have to win the argument if you already won at life. That's how you flip the entire game. Let him gossip. Let him talk trash. Let him run his mouth like a child. You respond by pulling up in a car he can't afford, stepping out of a body he'll never build, and walking into a life he'll never touch. That's power. That's the kind of revenge that doesn't need words, because your existence becomes the insult. Weak men want attention. They want a war. They want to drag you down to their level so they feel like they matter. And if you respond, you validate them. You breathe life into their weakness. But when you stay silent, when you stay focused, when you produce results day in and day out, you suffocate them. That silence, that absence of reaction, that's a weapon. And most men are too emotionally undisciplined to use it. Here's your new mindset. Talk less, prove more. Every insult they throw, stack more money. Every lie they spread, add another rep. Every doubt they speak, close another deal. You don't need to respond to haters. You need to bury them in excellence. Let them see your face on billboards. Let them hear your name in conversations they're not invited to. Let them watch your rise in real time and feel the pain of knowing they played themselves. There's no honor in being reactive. That's peasant behavior. Elite men don't explain, they build, they earn, they win. You want to strike back, then become so successful it echoes. Let your discipline flex for you. Let your consistency speak louder than any argument ever could. Your bank account is your rebuttal. Your physique is your counterattack. Your lifestyle is your final blow. Want to destroy him, then level up so violently he's forced to live in the shadow of the man he tried to break. No more talking, no more proving, just results. Let them choke on your success. You want to break your enemy completely? Then here's the ultimate move. Make him need you, not your approval, your resources, your influence, your status. Make come crawling back, not because he likes you, but because you became the gatekeeper to the world he wants to enter. That's domination at the highest level. This is how elite men think. You don't just win, you become the win. You become the connection, the value, the path. The man he can't avoid if he wants to rise, and suddenly, the same man who disrespected you is sitting across the table, needing your signature, your money, your network, your reach. And you don't forget. You sit in silence, composed, powerful, and you decide. Because you own the game now. Weak men cut off everyone who wrongs them. Emotional, impulsive, soft. Elite men, we flip the dynamic. We rise so high that even enemies can't ignore us. And that's where the real power kicks in. When the people who tried to bury you are now dependent on your success. You must build leverage. Be so good they can't move without you. Build something so undeniable. A business, a platform, a skill set, a reputation that enemies orbit around your gravity. Let them talk behind your back now, because one day they'll need your name to open a door. That's the kind of victory that doesn't just crush, it converts. Make no mistake, this takes time. It takes war-level discipline. You need to sacrifice comfort and focus like a machine. While they waste time plotting revenge, you work in silence. While they joke, you invest. While they sleep, you learn, lift, earn. That's how you rise to a level they can't reach. And then they realize, too late, that you're the one they should have never crossed. This isn't about forgiveness. This is about dominance through elevation. When he's forced to respect you, not because he changed, but because you did. Because you outgrew the old version of yourself and built a kingdom he can't ignore. You want to destroy him? Then become so essential to the game that even your enemies can't escape your value. Don't react. Don't post. Don't prove. Position yourself. Be smart. Be silent. Be strategic. And when the day comes and he's sitting across from you, knowing he needs what only you can provide, you won't even need to speak. Your status already said it all. Your success made him kneel, and your silence made him suffer. No one's coming to save you. No one's handing you power. You either build it or stay beneath the men who did. Every second you waste on weakness, complaining, reacting, chasing validation. Someone else is stacking muscle, money, and status while you rot in excuses. This world doesn't care about your feelings. It only respects results. So ask yourself, are you the kind of man who rises in silence and dominates the room without saying a word? Or are you just another loud nobody begging to be seen? You've been soft for too long. Emotional, broke, distracted. Now it's time to flip the switch, lock in, train harder, build faster, cut dead weight, upgrade everything, because the war has already started. Become the weapon or get destroyed by one. Your move.